Hello, grade 9. Welcome to the Arts Education 9 Self-Learning module on Paintings and Artists of Neoclassicism, third quarter, module 1. Expectation of this module. In this module, the students will learn to classify the characteristics of artworks produced in the different art movements A9, PL-YH-4. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to identify classical artists and distinct characteristics of their famous artworks, illustrates an artwork applying the elements and principles following the art styles from the Neoclassicism, and the last one is that expresses the significant values of different art styles of representatives of different artists from the Neoclassical art period. It starts in the year 1780 to 1840. The word neoclassic came from the Greek word neos, meaning new, and the Latin word classicus, which is similar in meaning to the English phrase first class. Neoclassical art pieces such as paintings, sculpture, and architecture generally portrayed Roman history, which elevated characteristics of neoclassical art. First, portrayal of Roman history. Second, formal composition. Third, the use of diagonals to show the peak of an emotion or moment versus a regular moment. Fourth, local color. Fifth, overall lighting. And the last one is the classic geostructure. Neoclassical artists. Neoclassical paintings. The neoclassical artists embraced the ideals of order and moderation in which artistic interpretations of classic Greek and Roman history were restored to realistic portrayals. Neoclassical painters gave great importance to the costumes, settings, and details of classical subject matter without adding distracting details, but with as much historical accuracy as possible. Painters and sculptors. First is Jacques Louis David. Second is Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres. Sculptor Antonio Canova. Sculptor Bertel Thorvaldsen. Jacques Louis David. Jacques Louis David was an influential French painter in the neoclassical style and considered to be the preeminent painter of the era. His subjects of paintings were more on his first painting of John David, The Death of Marat. David's masterpiece shows the portrayal of a revolutionary martyr. This is painting of murdered French revolutionary leader Jean Napoleon crossing the Alps. The painting that showed a strongly idealized view of the real crossing that Napoleon and his army made across the Alps through the Great St. Bernard Pass in May 1800. Oath of the Royalty. It was a large painting that depicts a scene from a Roman legend about the dispute between Rome and Alba Longa. The three brothers, those who appear willing to sacrifice their lives for the good of Rome, are shown saluting their father who holds their swords out for Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres. Ingres was a pupil of Jacques Louis David. He was influenced by Italian Renaissance painters like Raphael, Nicolas Poussin, Botticelli, and his mentor Jacques Louis David. His paintings were usually nudes, portraits, and mythological themes. He was regarded as one of the great exemplars of academic art and one of the finest old masters of his portrait of Napoleon on the imperial throne. The painting depicts Napoleon in his decadent coronation costume, seated upon his golden encrusted throne, hand resting upon smooth ivory balls. During his reign, the painting was owned by the Corps Legislatif, which was a part of the French legislature. The painting was believed to be commissioned by Napoleon as king of the apotheosis of Homer. The painting was state commissioned by Charles X to have him remembered in the building works of the Louvre. The painting depicts an image of Homer receiving all the brilliant men of Rome, Greece, and contemporary. The activities that you're going to do in this module: art appreciation. List down 5 distinct characteristics of the given paintings of John David. You can also watch a short clip about neoclassicism in this link, https youtube/aqdimqdep40. You're give you're advised to write down the title of the painting and give the characteristics of art production, neoclassical painting inspired. Paint an artwork in the style of neoclassicism with subjects of themes that are inspired with the current issues in the Philippines. What materials should you going to use? Oslo or bond paper, brush and watercolor or poster paint. The rubrics: criteria, quality of artwork, visual impact, punctuality, neatness. The highest score is 5 and the lowest score is 2 in each criteria. Let us understand neoclassical arts further. Look at the table below. The elements and the neoclassicism. The values. It follows order and solemnity. The inspiration of classical Rome, patriotism, courage and honor. The tone, rational. Subjects of Greek and Roman history. The technique is stress drawing with lines, not color, no traces of brush strokes. The role of art, morally uplifting, inspirational. Composition, structured, rigid, most figures in foreground. The lines, linear style, outlines are sharply defined through the control brush strokes. The texture, smooth, no brush strokes can. The last part is the post test. You're going to answer the following questions by writing the correct letter in your answer sheet. First one, a Western movement in decorative and visual art. A. Byzantine. B. Medieval. C. Neoclassicism. D. Romanticism. Number 2. An influential French painter whose subjects of paintings were more on history. A. Jean-Auguste Ingres. B. Jacques-Louis David. C. James Renwick. D. Jean-Paul Marat. Number 3. Below are the characteristics of neoclassicism except A. Heightened sensation, life and death movements. B. Use of diagonal to show peak of an emotion or movement. C. Roman and Greek history. D. Emphasis on formal compositions. Number 4. A painting shows willingness to sacrifice the good of their country. A. The death of Marat. B. Napoleon crossing the Alps. C. Oath of the Rati. D. The apotheosis of Homer. And number 5. What moral message does a neoclassical painting is trying to convey? A. Care for nature. B. Strong religious belief. C. Love, passion. And D. Self-sacrifice, patriotism. That's all. Thank you for listening and enjoy answering the Module 1 of Art Education. Goodbye.